Hey everyone, another random product review, very casual. I'm not a professional reviewer, but some people might want to buy this. I did, watching some other people's reviews, so it's a perpetual thing. I mostly do really small scale models, so this is my preferred setup. This Ulanzi ball thing, and this I think that's an Ulanzi as well, so that works all right. And then I literally have a tuna can, and I have it sitting there. The problem is my phone is right here, and I very often knock it in my videos as I'm messing around with the scale toys, the small like Hot Wheels kind of things. So maybe if the camera is only held from the upper part, my hands won't knock into it. Maybe that's the theory as to why I bought this. So let's take a look. I'm gonna pronounce that Vijim or Vijim. No, Vilim. What? V-I-L? Is that an L? It's backwards. Or is it J? So maybe I was right. Vijim. Okay, an LS24 model. I know they have some other models. Then it says it's basically an ARM system, and I believe it's meant to hold the weight of a DSLR. So I think it should be hopefully fine to hold a mobile phone. I use a Galaxy A7, an old phone, but it works pretty well for doing miniature stuff. Alright, so, well, there are all the dimensions if that actually matters to you. Maybe you have a tight photo booth or something, or space, and you want to actually measure that out first. That's what should be in this box. Let's see if that happens. Quick release, quick lock with the twist, and it actually has cable management. My microphone cable just dangles, and often maybe I snag that. It's actually got some sort of certification, which is kind of weird for something that doesn't have any electronics in it. Alright, so everything seems to be individually wrapped in some plastic bags. I have a phone mount very similar to this. Vijim again. Well, I guess we'll just get this. This is nice foam, by the way. This would make a nice gift. Assuming that outer box doesn't get crushed, which mine did. But the actual contents are actually well protected. So you have a GoPro mount here with the standard camera thread, and then this thing, of course, goes in here. Alright, these two things, some sort of plug with a thread on the outside, and maybe that's the camera diameter, your standard camera stud diameter. And then what's in this thing? So this is a much bigger size, but that's small. So that's an adapter for like a giant shoe or something like that, a giant camera shoe. Alright, so I guess we can lose that. Some sort of inspection sticker. Oh, I think it's on another video. This thing is spring-loaded, so be careful. Once you release this, the thing might pop into your face. So I'm going to hold it here. Oh yeah, I can feel the tension actually. You know what? This will be interesting. Hold on. So here we just have a kitchen scale. I'm going to press this over it, and let's see how much force this spring is doing. 2.8 kilos or more. 3 kilos maybe? Definitely over 2 kilos it can support that one spring. So yeah, that would definitely smack you in the face and be painful if you weren't aware. So definitely hold this thing tight, and then release the strap. Let it go slowly. Okay. Alright, there's some sort of... Oh, well, there's actually a warning. But who actually pays attention to this stuff? I think it would have been maybe smarter to put this piece of cardboard warning on the actual strap. Then you'd be forced to see it. But if this isn't on the nylon strap, I don't know if people are going to see this, because I didn't. Alright, let's put that over there. Alright, so we know it's over 2 kilos in that joint. I don't feel any spring force over here. That's just loose. But this one must have a spring as well. Yeah. Be a little curious if, again, if I assume it's the same spring. This might be a little harder. So this is totally loose. Oh, this is going to be hard to do. Let's hit the focus on the screen. Yeah, this might actually, this is registering more than 3 kilos. Like 3.5 kilos of spring force. Which makes sense because it's at the bottom part of it. It's got to support all the weight up here, cantilevered. So this feels like plastic right here. Plastic, like, no, well, you know, it does feel like plastic. I could be wrong. Maybe it's cast metal, but it is hollowed out. No, I'm pretty sure this is like nylon reinforced plastic, but as long as it's strong. It's got a big stainless stud in it to go into the table bracket, which I guess is this. And then nice quick locking resistance things. So let's see, that did nothing. Oh boy, now that can't move. So that was like a quarter turn and it locked it off. You could just do maybe, so if we're right there, I go there, it can still move, but it seems like a quarter turn really locks it off. Yeah, that's taking a lot of force. So that's good. They don't have to sit there and wind this thing like 16 million rotations, so that's nice. This is definitely extruded aluminum here. And then we have these plastic cable management covers that can snap on and off quite easily, which is good. And there's 3 down there, and there's 3 on this arm up here. So this would probably take less rotation because the spring, I think, is weaker. See? So that's pretty good. Nice and quick. But then, yeah, all right. So these are nice. These little plastic knobs. They have like little grooves for grip. They're actually coming up. They're not recessed grooves. They're protruding like ridges. And then we have a different size one at the very end for, you know, whatever kind of camera you're going to be mounting here. But again, there's no spring in this whatsoever. So this really just depends on how much weight you put on it. Which for me was nothing. It's going to be a mobile phone in its bracket. Okay, so this has got some laser marking here for lock and unlock, I assume. So lock, well, I guess it's a 50-50 chance you'll eventually get used to whatever it is. I'm wondering if this threads off. No, I guess this just rotates. Now there is a spring under this though. Maybe that, well, all right. Let's take a look now at the table mount. So, I'm sure this is a steel bracket, and it's quite thick. I don't want to guess. Yeah, this is 5mm thick steel, so that's going to take a lot to bend that. And then we have what looks like an it could be an M8 bolt. And so this little pad floats around. It's got a little wobbly room, so in case your table's uneven, it should work. And I'm noticing in here, let's see if you can get, there seems to be a rubber pad attached to it for grip. And then this has a rubber pad in here, what I'm touching. This does not, of course. And then again, we have a plastic knob here. Hopefully this won't torque out. There's like a brass insert probably. No, I think it's just melted onto this stainless bolt. There's probably some ridges in there. That's all hollowed out on the back side. And then we have the, there's probably a bolt under this holding this extrusion on. And then we have 2 of the cable management things, which are really easy to work with. They slide very well and they come off very easily. So, but they're not going to fall off, so very nice. This is just a, I guess, oh, that traps that chrome piece. Alright, so undo that a little bit. And then you put this on here. And because the bolt's going to sit in this recess, assuming you actually tighten this, right, it's not going to fall out because there's that ridge. And then you could, I guess, leave it loose if you want to rotate this thing. But bear in mind, if you do that, it's going to start grinding away in that on that piece, because that bolt is just scraping against it. But who cares, right? It'll take forever. You would have to rotate this thing so long before that bolt would damage that, or the bolt might wear away. Okay. Alright, let's try this phone mount here. Oh, this thing actually has a back and a bottom mount. So I'm not sure which one I want to use yet. I think I'd probably want to use this one. So this is plastic mostly, solid plastic. I guess I'm going to have to tighten this. I see, hold on. So that tightened down. Now I can tighten that down. Alright. Yeah. Basically clockwise, it tightens this thing. So that's on really nice. And then, right, so if I loosen that, now I can just rotate this, but this is pressed up against it, so. Okay. There's also a shoe mount if you want to slide a light or something into this little plastic groove. I do question its durability though. Again, being plastic, you might want to put on a metal one if it's important. Which coincidentally, I really like these Ulanzi products. This one's all CNC'd aluminum, so this one's going to be very strong to, if you want to put something on there. Okay. In fact, I might want to put a ball on this thing. But let's weigh this thing in the event that you actually try to travel with this. I don't know, are there YouTubers that actually set up studios when they travel? Alright, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to tighten this. But I would think that if you put this into a suitcase, that might still vibrate loose. So it might make sense to actually use this strap just as a safety precaution. Right? Something like that. So with that said, let's weigh this minimal setup here. So you got that part, 675, and then if you need the table part. So it's like almost 1.2 kilos. If you want to throw in some adapters and the GoPro thing, the whole setup is 1.2 kilos. All right. So let me set this up. Hold on. One thing I don't see on the packaging is how thick of a table can you go on. You would think that would be on the packaging because that's pretty important, right? Like some people may have really thick wood tables or something. So I unscrewed this as far as I could, and let's get the calipers in there. Seems like 48 millimeters would be a safe, thing to go. If I push it out a little bit, no, I would still say 48 millimeters is your limit. And I'm not going to say inches because it's a stupid measurement system. So sometimes I do model kit building on this wooden table. Let's see how it works here. Let's see, that's a pretty thick edge. Alright, that is definitely... Well, I could tighten it more. It's pretty firm. The rubber is giving some play though. So that's questionable, If you don't want any play, but you're willing to scratch your desk, you could probably remove the rubber pieces. But I'm going to leave it the way it is. Also, for me, that ledge isn't very far. That might also be the issue. You see, not all that round is actually working to hold this thing. It's actually only half of this bar. So this isn't actually the best table. I just didn't want to clamp it to the glass table and risk cracking it. Alright, let's continue on. So I gotta pop this thing in here. Alright, tighten this little thing just so it gives a little resistance as I twist it. Twist this thing down. Let's get this side showing. Hold on. Gundam converges I review. So yeah, well, maybe too much resistance there. And now let me get a phone in there. It's a pretty wide phone. This is the old Galaxy Note. I think the Note 2. I'm not even sure where I keep it. I never use it, but alright, so you can see in this case I won't be knocking a tuna can anymore. And then I can run a microphone cable, which we'll install in a moment, but I gotta get this thing lower. So let's do this, block that up, tighten that thing off. Boy, it's really hard to do. I have to get far away. I'm gonna loosen that one. Alright, so something like that. If I ran this cable, there's the microphone jack on this thing. It's been years since I used this. Alright, for some reason it's on the top. So yeah, let's see. Take this plastic thing off. And now I can see. Let's see what I do up here. There we go. Sorry, I'm always losing focus. I only have two hands, so I can't hit the focus. So you can get a lot of cables in there. So this cable channel, maybe the dimensions are important to you. You can fit a lot of cabling in here, but the actual width of this opening is 9.5 millimeters. Yeah, it's getting up to 9.5 there. And then the depth, there's actually a rounded bottom there, you know, so it's going to factor that in. Hold on here. So that bottom of that rounded thing is 10.15 millimeters. So let's see, here's a braided USB Type-C. Obviously it'll clearly fit two. Let me get in over this thing a little more so you can see better, and also try to get the light in there. Alright, so you could easily run two. Wow, I bet you could get like 8 or 10 cables. So let's see, this is 4 now. Still plenty of room. Let's see if can we get 8 USB type charge cables in there. Yeah, look at that. So you could, I don't know why you would have like eight cables running out to that thing, but you could maybe charge a light, charge a different microphone, charge the phone or a camera. I mean, so that's a lot of options. And or you could just put a really thick cable in there. Maybe you want to put a fan or something on the end of this, not even use it for electronic uses. Put a misting fan or just an air fan, and you could always move it in and out of your way. Or a monitor, a small tablet, which I think even a big tablet, because it'll hold 2 or 3 kilos. I also now realize why that channel might be so big. It's because, hey, well, first it's less material, but you actually don't even need to take these plastic covers off. You can just slide it, right? And if you don't have a lot of cables in there, you can just pull the thing right through. You don't actually have to waste time clipping those on and off, unless you're going to have a lot of cables in there. So that's nice. All right, hold on, I'm going to back off and just move it around a bunch. Boy, hopefully you're going to get this. I'm going to back way out here. You have to excuse my mess because I'm a slob. So I'm trying to just have it friction where I don't have to tighten these things. So that's not enough. Alright, so that won't go anywhere, but, oh, hold on. So you saw that just rise. You are really going to have to tighten this one down if you don't want that thing to pop out. But now I can move this arm, no problem. You know, it's a little resistance, but it has to be that way. Now the question is, alright, so this one also, maybe I tighten that a tiny bit more. And then I can still rotate it. The problem is the rotation doesn't want to work very well because the clamp is so tight. So I think this could have been designed better where that stainless rod had a deeper cutout, so you could rotate it freely, but it won't pop out when I move this. That could have been designed better. But over here, yeah, I could rotate that, right? I think it's just a matter of finding the correct tension points that works for you. But I could do a nice and low shot, and then when I'm reviewing my bigger things, that shot. Alright, so the only issue is there's no ball end, so I can't actually angle my camera, you know, up or down, so I'm going to have to mount a ball end to this thing. So let's see if we can find my best solution. This is that thing I was using before, the Ulanzi ball, and this just has a press thing, so it's very easy. You don't have to rotate anything, right? And then this is a very secure fit because it's aluminum, and this is tightened down very far. Whereas these, you know, the spring-loaded ones, the phone very often wants to move around because it has rubber pads, and something about it just makes it not work as well. Alright, so I got my Ulanzi ball on there, and I have the release over here, so yeah, I can go in and out now. I find that it's easier to actually hold both ends of the joint to keep the other one from moving. You know, don't just move this. I guess you could. I guess this has to do with the balance point. But it's torquing. When I move this way over here, you can see it torquing that vertical post, which maybe that's not good, not a good thing, right? So, anyways, you can do this, that, right? If it bothers you. It might also be the fact, again, that I'm not even clamped to a proper table. The clamp is only half engaging the table. So hopefully, this might be a better setup, you know, where I can't knock the tuna can or the phone. And I should hopefully get better angles of viewing, because I can raise this thing very high and then review, you know, models that are much bigger. Hopefully, if you're interested in, you know, broadcasting on YouTube, maybe this video helped you out. So far, it seems like I didn't waste my money. Obviously, we're going to really know when I actually start reviewing stuff with this. And then if I do go back to my old methods, maybe I'll just put that in the comments section or the description of this video. Alright, thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next product review. Bye.